All right, guys, it's Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Tuesday, May 28th, 2018. Before we begin, I've been getting questions about some of the stuff we've been mentioning online about the mentoring session. So twice a month, usually it'll be every other week, usually around market close, but I'll try to mix up the time so everyone can attend, and there'll always be recordings of them. But we're going to have two mentoring sessions. So if you can show up for these, we'll have the times posted. I'll do a lot of different things, more educational than the daily reports, and going over what we're actually going to trade. And that'll be twice a month. The first one, I'm going to do a big in-depth trade review of my trades, and I'll really get into kind of the meat of what I'm thinking, the setups. And I'm also going to do a trade review for you guys. So any trades that you've taken, attend that mentoring session, and we'll go over them together, and I'll critique your trade. So we'll do that on the first mentoring session we're going to have, which will be the first week of June. I don't have the exact date yet, but just to get you guys know, let you guys know those are coming up. So let's get back into the report now. Let's start with SPY. I'm really liking the way the market is looking now. Our watch list is really expanding. So we're going to start the week with a bigger focus list than normal, which I usually don't like to do. I like to keep it narrow so we can really be focused on the stuff we're going to trade. But the market is expanding so much, I think we should broaden it a little bit to be ready for a lot of different things that could happen or opportunities that present themselves this week. So if you go back to the market, let's take a look at SPY here. We've been talking about how the market has been improving. A lot of the stuff we look at in terms of market breadth. IWM is doing better than SPY, which we like, which means the broader market is doing better because IWM has more mid caps and has more stocks in it. And the Qs are doing better than SPY as well, which lets us know that big tech is doing good. And that's always a good thing. And then we can't really get into it too in depth right now, but the sector analysis that I do every week is also improving week by week. So that means more and more sectors are doing well. So that's what we want to be seeing. So if we pull up SPY again, we've had higher lows. We had really big higher lows on IWM. IWM has already broken two highs. Qs are getting close, and we're lagging on SPY, but that's okay because a lot of the mid caps that we like are doing well. So this is all good for the market. So we're looking to get more aggressive. We already have. Remember, through this period here, it was rare to have more than one or two positions, and there were periods of a week and a half where I wouldn't take any trades, and I thought that was a little frustrating for some of you guys. But now it's improving. We were in 4 trades last week. We took profits in AXN. Now we're in 3 trades, and we're going for bigger wins as well. We'll talk about that when we get into our trades. Some of you had questions about Lulu when it hit the low end of our profit target on Friday at 107. I didn't take it. But that is because I think we're ready to bust out of here now. So things are looking good in the overall market. Let's get to our current trades. Netflix here, 351. We're already way above our initial target of 330 to 335. We entered at 314. We're already sitting at 3 to 4 to 1 at this point. But again, we're going for the big win. But the adjustment I'm going to make here is we entered at 314. I'm going to place my trailing stop now at 334. So we're essentially guaranteed a 20-point win on this. And obviously we're sitting at a much bigger win, but at least we know we're at least going to end up with 2 to 1 on this trade. But we could get a really big win here. If this pops to 360, 370, 380, this will be like the trade of the year. Now Lulu hit the low end of our profit target. We talked about 107 to 110. Entry was around 98. So I'm going to go for 109 to 110 on this. So we're going to go for a little bit of a bigger win. So Lulu is looking great. Netflix is looking great. Now X, which I really liked when we entered, is lagging a bit. Again, the bottom of the 34s will be our exit level, basically right around the level it hit last Monday. But hopefully we can get the remount here and X starts to run. Commodities have been showing some good signals, so hopefully we get that good signals before stalling here. So right through here. So hopefully we get that remount here. So those are the 3 positions. Let's get to go back to some of the indexes in terms of sectors. Oil. Big hit on Friday. Good thing. This is why we were cautious here through this whole period. I got a lot of questions about why I wasn't entering energy, and I just felt like it was really extended. Now we got the big pullback. Now hopefully this gives us a good entry level. Ideally, I'd love to see it. It's testing the 50-day. If it holds up here, well, maybe we take it. But I'd really like it if it tests the old high. So we'll keep an eye out on that. And obviously, oil impacts energy, and energy has kind of stalled here as well. Semiconductors are really strong. We have 3 semiconductor stocks on our watch list. Financials pulling back here, kind of lagging the market. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hack, which is cybersecurity, very strong. We've got 2 cybersecurity stocks added to our watch list. That's PanW, actually 3, PanW, VDSI, and Cyber, SYBR. We'll talk about those in a second, but cybersecurity has really picked up here. And, 2016, we paid a lot of attention to it. 2015, we haven't more recently, but it's back on the radar. Let's get to the focus list here. Retail has also picked up. We'll look at some specific retail stocks in a second. Let's just go through the entire watch list. A bunch of them to hit really quickly, and through the week we'll get a little deeper with some of these. Roku IPO. After getting this beat down here, after the initial IPO high of around 40, pulled back hard, now looks to be bottoming. We've had 1, 2, 3 big spikes to the upside, 1 spike to the downside, but overall looking really good. I think we're at a spot we could enter where we could enter right here. And then we've got the IPO high at 40, which we need to clear. But if we clear that, we've got room to run up to 50. So maybe wait for that 40. Wait for the break of the IPO high, and then I think we'll have a good entry there. In Roku, SEDG, which is a solar stock, pulled back hard to the 50-day moving average. It's been very strong. Now we want to see if it can hold that 50 and maybe even get back up over the 9, which is that yellow line you see on the chart there. Under Armour has been strong. We've been talking about this for a while. We took 1 trade in it. I think I'm ready to get back in it again. And we have this gap here at 25. We're at 18 right now. Ideally, I'd like a little bit of a pullback, even though it is breaking this level here. So maybe if we can pull back to maybe 18.25, we could get a good entry trigger with good risk reward on Under Armour. Let's hit the 3 semiconductor related stocks. Oled, we've been waiting for it to cross the 50. Technically did, but not enough for me to really want to jump in on Friday. So we'll see if it holds on Monday. If it does, I think we have a decent shot at Oled. AAOI, we took 1 trade in it last week, and it's still setting up. I like Oled a little better, but AAOI is bottoming as well. And then, of course, Nvidia, which is always a market leader, very different pattern, whereas those have been beaten down and bottoming. Nvidia is a trend continuation. And 2 ways to play it. 1, you can enter right here. It tested the 50-day, broke the 9, looking good. Or you could wait for a break of the high. Either way, you want to play it. And remember, guys, I can only take so many trades, but there are a lot of good setups here. So if you're looking to make a trade, but you don't see an alert from me, a lot of good entry triggers here throughout the day. Fang, Amazon here, we're in Netflix already. Amazon here is really at an entry trigger on the break of the 9 right here. Let's dig in a little closer, and you can see that a little better here. But I think it's at a good level here, or wait for a break of this intraday high at 16. 38 is technically the high, but I think we could enter right in here and play for a move up to that high. So Amazon very strong. Facebook has basically invalidated the big bad news here and has got back to that level where it broke down from. So I really like Facebook as well. I don't like Google as much as these 2. It's lagged a little bit. It doesn't have as much going for it. ODFL transports are doing really good. I've only put 1 on my list. That's ODFL. Broke to highs here. I'd watch for a pullback to 150 and then a hold. SQ really strong here. I think you could enter here on a break of the high at about 57.50 right in here. We've got Coors. Now we're going to hit a bunch of retail stocks. Coors, a lot of retail looking good. Coors, I'd wait for a break of the high, so nothing to do with it right now. Ralph Lauren broke out on earnings. I'd wait for a pullback here. Foot Locker also broke out. I thought about an early entering on Friday on the breakout, but I'll wait to see if a pattern develops. TIFF, high-end retail, looking very strong. I'd wait for a pullback here. And then I had 1 more, Urban. Also, and we're in Lulu, but Urban, I think we're at an entry spot right here if you were looking for an entry. Twitter, setting up nicely. I think right above the 9 here is a good entry with a stop below that. Our 3 cybersecurity stocks. So we've got PanW, ticker here. We're at an entry here where it's breaking highs. I probably would wait for a pullback to the 9 and see if that level holds. Cyber also very strong at the same level. You could enter here. Maybe it's a little extended, so I'd wait. And then VDSI, really nice spot, holding the 9. I think we could enter right here at 2060. So 3 really nice cybersecurity stocks. IQ, internet content information. I really don't know too much about the stock other than obviously it's an IPO and very low float. Really nice pattern here. I wouldn't trade this unless I'm more of an aggressive trader, but really nice setup here. Maybe wait for a break of the high or a test of the 9. Shutterfly has been on our list for a while. Post earnings breakout, consolidating. I'd wait for a break of the high. LOXO, another earnings breakout. I'd wait for a break of the high here. And then a stock I'm stalking very closely because of the Supreme Court ruling on sports betting and allowing it. States to make the decision if they want sports betting or not, but looks really strong here. This was the day of the Supreme Court ruling, and it's holding up against the 9. I might take a shot here, use a 3 or 4 point stop, small position, and see if it ends up running. But really like this one as a long-term play as well, based on the Supreme Court ruling. So that's what we're looking at this week. More stocks at normal to start the week, especially more recently in 2018. And we'll narrow that down as setups start to emerge. But I do anticipate taking some more trades this week than normal. I'm really liking the market. Unless something happens in the market that changes our plan, we head into this week. I always start either market neutral, slightly or aggressively bearish, or slightly or aggressively bullish. And I'm kind of in between slightly bullish and aggressively bullish right now. So I do anticipate adding some positions this week.